Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you very much for connecting, and let's dig into a new Kickstarter preview. This little guy over here, Capybara Crash. The publisher was very nice to provide a preview copy, so I can share my thoughts and I can teach you how this game is played. So before I tell you what I think about this, let's see how it plays. Here you have the game set up for Capybara Crash. To set up the game, you take this deck of Capybara cards where you have two backgrounds, the blue and the brown or green. And you see at the back of these cards, you have some sort of scoring track. So what you do is select the three of them to have 1 to 15 and corresponding 40 to 26. And then you put at the very right the player aid. Then you take the other deck of cards with the identical background, like a light blue background, and you reveal a river of 5 cards, and the rest is facing down. Then to each player you give 2 capybara of this sort, which are neutral, and then you give one with a favorite animal. Then you give to the player a corresponding pawn or scoring token. In this case, I took the Capybara Surfer, and then you give them the corresponding stars of their color, and you cover these little stars over here, and then each player draws 1 card, and that will be their starting hand. To play the game, the player has 2 actions that needs to be taken. The first action is to draw a card. The player can draw a card from the river or can draw from the top of the deck. For example, let's say I draw the card here from the river. So now this is my hand. This gets replenished. Then after I draw a card, I have a choice to make. I can play 1 card, or better, I have to play 1 card. I have to play the card either as a critter or as a capybara. So if I play a card as a critter, I just overlay on the capybara. See how perfectly matches. And so now I have these 3 little critters on top of my capybara. Actually, I should play this one better, and it's better that I play this one, and we will see later why when we're going to discuss about scoring. And that's the end of my turn. Another player plays, and I'll draw another card. This gets refill. Another one, for example, takes the card from the top of the deck, and it's back to me. So now I have still a choice to make. And for example, what I can do is to take, let me see, I can take this card here and take this card here. And in this case, instead of playing a card as a critter, which I could do and actually will make a lot of sense, what I can do is play this face down as a capybara here and to expand my tableau. Another action that I can do, and this is actually not an action that can be taken anytime throughout the game, is sending my stars to use these special powers. Here is the hope. You see on the top, the 3 stars indicate that they do this. So if I take this card, you see there's a special power, there's a cost, so I can spend my 3 stars to draw 3 cards from the deck, discard 2, and play 1. In this case, I can take this card and use this power. It costs only 1 star. Shift an unshifted card up or down 1 row. And so there are different powers. I'm not going to discuss all of them, but what they allow you either to draw more cards or to shift your tableau in front of you. You can move this, maybe one, like for example, if you have something like this, you may be able to shift it 1 down or 1 up, like we said, or you may be able to flip it upside down like this. And there are other powers that I'll let you explore on your own. So the game continues until you have 8 cards with the capybara and the critters in front of each player. At that point, you're gonna flip this one here like this. So you're gonna have a nice scoring track. You place the pawn of each player over there, and then you start counting the point. How you count the point? This is a possible scenario for a player at the end of the game. So if you see this one upside down, it's because perhaps I have used one of these powers to make the card upside down. So how do you score points? You score points for the longest continuous line of a critter, plus or minus 1. Let's make an example. So in this case, let's take a look at the goat. I have one goat adjacent to another one. That's okay. And this one is +1. It's a higher by one level. So this is continuous, and that's fine. So this goat, this is the longest continuous line of a goat, score me 3 points. Let's take a look at the monkey. The monkey, I have 3 monkey adjacent to each other. However, this monkey is 2 spaces lower than this one. So this doesn't count in terms of continuity, in terms of adjacency, or in terms of the scoring condition. So this monkey, I cannot count this monkey. This one is 2 points. This is also 2 points. So I have 2 lines of 2 points. So there's not really one longer than that, so I count only one for 2 points. If I take a look at the birds, I have 2 here, I have 3 here, so that would be the longest. So I score 3 points for the goats, 2 points for the monkeys, 3 points from the chicks. Then let's take a look at the oranges. I have 1, 2, 3, so I have 3 oranges right there. And for the turtle, I have 2 turtles over here. Remember, I cannot count this one because it's a jump of 2 spaces. So 3 points for the goat, 2 for the monkey, 3 for the oranges, 2 for the chicks, and 2 for the turtles. After that, I look at the background and I count the longest continuous line background. So here I have palm, 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 so 4 points for the palm. Here I have a cherry blossom, 3 points for the cherry blossom, and here I have a mountain, so 1 point for the mountain. Then I count 1 point per favorite critter. So my favorite critter is yuzu, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yuzu. And so I get 6 points for the yuzu. And finally, I get 1 point per unused star. In this case, I have only one, so I will score 1 extra point. You count the points on the scoring track, and whoever has the highest point is the winner. As you can see, this game is very simple. There is also a solo mode, which I have not explored by myself, and I'll let you do it on your own. I want to talk about the multiplayer aspect of this game, which I played the most and only, and I really enjoyed it. I would call this little game Cascadia in a deck of cards. I've seen many similarities. It's a very simple drafting game. You have animals to place as well as the background to place. So it's a very nice puzzle. You want to do everything, but you cannot do everything. Then you have the special power, which is different every game. So you also have a replay value, or you have a variability in every game that you have because of those cards. And they are really different, allow you to think outside the box, because you allow you to manipulate your cards. They allow you to shift it up and down, so something that is maybe too raw in the differences and will not score you points, you can shift one card by one line, and now becomes a continuous line, and you can score more points in this way. You can also mitigate sometimes the bad luck of the draw of the river. Now, this is definitely something that you encounter in games like this, that you don't have the cards that you want, and maybe Jonathan finds that really the card that he really needs it. But it's fine. This game lasts at 15-20 minutes. How long this? It said 30 minutes. This is a big lie. This is at most a 20 minutes game, even a full player count, because the game goes so quick. Maybe you may spend a little bit of time to see the powers, familiarize with the game, but once you play it twice, the game flies very quickly, and it gives you that satisfaction that Cascadia has. If you don't know what Cascadia is, well, go and check it out on BGG. It's a very popular game, very high, very much loved by many people in the hobby or not in the hobby. And this is an excellent poker version. No, Cascadia takes some space. This one, not really. This you can play at the bar, you can play anywhere. And I really like also the components. The card quality is very good, which is #1 priority in my opinion for a card game. They shuffle very well. I think they're also scented. They have a very flory smell. I don't know if that is the case. I should double check with the publisher. And I like the details in the punch boards. You saw those tokens. Those tokens get into here because you take the punch board and you put it back. So I show you in the overview that I took the surfer here, and you see there's a punch board here, and then you place the surfer back here. The punch board is very nice, it's very thick. They also tell you do not throw it away because of that purpose. And also you can do the same thing here. You have the stars, and then you can place it in this way because of the color. I should place it right in this way. Yeah, you should place it in this way, and they fit back very nicely and smoothly, very effortless. You can just follow the drawing and they are very nice. I really like this touch. So overall, you know, if you are checking their Kickstarter campaign, definitely check them out. Highly recommend if you like this kind of abstract puzzle game, if you like the look, if you like a family game experience. So definitely give them a try. And if you made it that far, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much and see you next time. Capybara Crush.